Okay, so I don't know. Okay, what is this? I don't know what this is down here. This scrolling. I don't want to see this, and I'm just trying to go live and talk about what I want to talk about here because I've never went on live on TikTok, so we'll see. I can turn this off over here so we don't have to listen to the TV. Okay, so I'm put my glasses on. See what the hell this is trying to say to me. So welcome to TikTok Live. Have a fun in there. Okay, well just let me go. Quit it. Okay. All right. Interact. Okay. Okay. All right. So I don't really know if this is live or not. I've never really went live on TikTok. But one thing I will say is, when we talk about Lily and Jack, start your live. Okay. But please, what is it doing? Just remove the reference. Okay. Cancel. Just go away. Okay. Anyway. What is this down here? No, I don't want to flip the camera. No, I don't want to mute my microphone. Okay. Anyway. All right. First, I'm going to do a little test run, and then I'm like, what? Was there somebody there? Okay, listen. I want to talk about Jack and Lily. I'm really, I don't do true crime. That's just really not what I want to do with my channel over on YouTube or over here on TikTok. But I am very concerned about these children. Something is just definitely wrong. And I'm going to tell you, every time I hear, let me take my glasses off. Every time I hear the stepfather talk about what these children were wearing, I think back to some of those pictures that we saw. They are telling you what they were wearing in the pictures that they are posting to you. They are not telling you what those children were possibly wearing on the day they went missing. Now, that to me is very concerning. I don't really know. I don't know if anybody else has thought about that or not. I mean, I don't know how the Indian reservations work in Canada, so I don't know if the mother going to the reservation is to protect herself from any further questioning. Yeah, I don't know all of that, but I do know there's something extremely wrong with this story. I don't like to blame people because we don't know all the answers, right? But think about this. There were oh, hey guys, nice to see you. I didn't notice there was people down there. So sorry. Hello. Anyway, I, I just wanted to come on and talk. I'm so glad you came. Hey, yeah. Yeah, come on in, as some people say, and listen to what I've got to say. And again, I don't do true crime, but this story bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Like I was saying, when they describe what these children are wearing, they are describing what they were wearing in the pictures that they provided you. Oh, he's wearing brown. Oh, she's wearing pink. Right. Because they're wearing brown and pink in the pictures that they provided. Now, then they're saying, oh, well, the mother's trying to say, well, it must have been an abduction because the little shoe prints stop at the end of the road. Well, that doesn't mean it's an abduction, that doesn't mean that. Then the other thing is like, they've searched everywhere. Oh, he said the first 20 minutes, they were only gone 20 minutes when I went to go look for them. No way. No way. There's just no way. Um, so these are the kind of things that are bothering me. Yeah, hold on a second. I need to turn off my YouTube. Let me turn this off. Okay. So it's just little things like that are bothering me. Little pieces of the story that's all just coming here and there, and the different parts of the story. The story's changing. It's this. It's that. There's so many different parts to this story that don't really fit together. Now, do I think the stepfather did anything? I don't know. I don't want to blame anybody. But I will tell you one thing about it. The stepfather reminds me of Seth Rogers a lot. He's out there looking. He wants to find those kids. He cares. The mother, she's gone. And then we hear, oh, well, because the mounted police or the police department there has said, oh, don't talk about this to anyone. Well, why not? Why do they not want you to talk? Is it because they know that something is really wrong, that something has happened to these children, and they're not telling anybody yet? Because again, you know what happens. Here's what happens, even in true crime. You know, everywhere in true crime. This is what I think happens. I mean, I don't do true crime, but I have a lot of friends that do, and I listen to them, I support them, and I always will. And I don't do it because they are much better than I could ever be at doing true crime. But hey there, guys. Nice to see you. Um, I'm so glad y'all come to my live. I didn't even announce it. I just jumped on. I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk about this for a second because I'm upset about it. And so anyway, the what happens from my perspective on these channels and true crime and all that is they will give you little bits and pieces of what's going on, but you don't really ever get all of it. So when this happens, um, it leaves the mind to fill in the blanks on your own because you don't know because they've not given you information. You might only hear, like um, the first 10 minutes of what happened, and you might only hear what happened on the first day, but they don't tell you about what happened on the second day or the third day. And look at little Sebastian's case. God bless him. I hope they find him soon. That case hurts my heart so bad. Summer Wells, that case hurts my heart. But they we don't know all these things until a whole year later, or 14, 15 months later. In fact, we never knew that she had stopped at that gas station till 15, 16 months later. And then finally they tell us she stopped at the gas station on the way home. So she didn't go straight home. That gave plenty of time for something to happen at the gas station. But we don't know that, right? So what I'm saying is, and no, there is no police department that owes us anything. They don't. They don't owe us any information at all, right? But they do ask for the public's help. Okay, well, we want to help. But the thing is, we could actually help them if they would tell us the whole story before they sent us out to help them. Because if you are working on a half truth or a half, hey there, nice to see you. I'm watching this little bunch of people pop up over here, and I don't have my little glasses on, so I can't really see your name, but I want to say hello to all of you, and thank you for coming on over. I have a little channel on YouTube, and I talk about facts. Is it or is it not, basically? But it's from reading true crime books. It's for after the fact, after we know all of the facts. And when authors decide to write books, are they giving us all the facts? Are they embellishing them? Are they just doing whatever they want to do to sell a book? That's what we talk about on my channel. Things like that. But anyway, I wanted to say hello to everybody. I'm so glad to see you. I've never went live on TikTok, so this is a whole new event for me. But and I don't know if there's a thumbs up or whatever here on TikTok. Again, I don't know. Anyway, so if you could whatever it is, I guess it's the little roses over there. I guess you send the little roses is how it works. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I was talking about, it just leaves the rest of us to fill in the blanks with whatever our mind thinks makes sense. Because when the math does not math, we begin to wonder and we're going to insert things because it has to make sense, right? And that's what we do. And that's how a lot of rumors and, you know, misinformation and things like that get put out there because of that right there. And I know that some things they need to keep close to the vest because they do not want their suspects to run, and that happens a lot too. They don't want to blow their case because the one thing I do know, you get one opportunity to prosecute people. It's called double jeopardy. And if they are not found guilty and they are released, you cannot try them again. That's it. It's over. So I understand a police department not wanting to give you all the facts because they need to make sure that they save what they need to prosecute whoever they're looking at for the crime or for whatever's happened to these children. Now, again, we are speculating, but we see all over the internet things like, oh, they found them. Oh, they were under the trailer. Oh, they were this, they were that. But not one person can tell us yes or no on that. And I understand that, and that's okay. But I want these babies found. And I can say that based on, listen, and I'm not judging anybody because that's not my place, okay? That is not my place and I'm not going to do it. But from what we could see or what was portrayed to us, these little children they were not doing well. She's talking about, oh, they could have autism, they could have this, they could have that. Well, but they were not really tested, were they? Are we just saying this because they were a little bit behind in school? Well, children get behind in school when they don't go to school every day, okay? Your child has to be in school participating in order to keep up, right? So, hey there, Kelly Star, nice to see you. Okay, I'm Alicia. Let me try. Oh, Brittany, hey there. Let me put my glasses on so I can see these names while we talk, okay? Yeah, just excuse these glasses. They're just little readers, you know. I don't like the glare on them, so I don't want to wear them. But anyway, so let's see. We have Mr. AF. We have Kelly Starr, Alicia, hello, Millie, Sonia Pedrago, nice, Brittany Hatton, okay. There's some other names that have already passed by, but I miss them. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Well, I'll just talk to you with the glasses on. It's fine, so I can see whoever else comes in. But you know, they were not being. I just don't think they were being cared for. It just doesn't look like they were being cared for. It looks like, there was this pin, the little pin in the back there. Is that where they sent these children to play with actually no toys in the pin? I mean, the whole thing is strange. And it's okay to be poor. Let me tell you, it's okay. Not one of us was, well, most of us were poor at some point in our life, right? I mean, I'm just gonna say that we didn't all grow up with a silver spoon in our mouth. But you can be clean. You don't have to be poor and not be clean. You can still go to school. You can still take care of your kids. You can still do all the things you need to do. But okay, listen. Then the stepfather says, and I'm not blaming him. I'm really not. But then he starts talking about, well, hey Salvador, nice to see you. Al Bundy. Oh, how funny. Al Bundy, 1738. Cute, cute name. And Divine, let's see, Divine something. Hello, I couldn't pronounce it. Um, Kelly McLaughlin, nice to see you. Lachiaz, oh, that's cute too. Josh, Balami, Race, okay. Anyway, so I'm just going to say hello because they're kind of going faster than I can read them right now. But okay, so he's talking about these kids, and how well the backpack's probably dirty by now, and he probably doesn't have his pull up on anymore because it's probably been soaked. Because again, they were in the bed. These children were just out there doing whatever. I think that maybe the little girl wanted to go to school, and so oh, look at that, my hair's terrible. Anyway, she wanted to go to school, so I think she got her backpack, got her little boots on, and she wanted to go. I think she kept going into the room, say, "Hey, I want to go to school. I want to go to school." But we were told there was a party there the day before. Okay, remember they had the picture of all the cars. And so, oh, how cute, Grouchy Scott. That's cute. I like that. Cora and Matthew Agardi, hello. Nice to see you all today. I know you've never seen me go live on TikTok, right? I mean, I used to always go on YouTube, but today I decided I'm going to do a little TikTok live. I'm going to talk about this, even though I don't really do true crime, but it is bothering me. So anyway, back to what we're talking about. So and so I think that, and there's like, oh, be quiet. We're trying to get this baby to sleep. Well, if it was 10 o'clock in the morning, which is what, from what I understand, it was, you should have already been up. What are you doing sleeping? But then there was this whole thing about this party from the day before, right? And so I saw a post where they were saying, oh, they're going to question, I think it was 25 or 35 people that they're going to question. I believe it was the people that was at the party that day before on Thursday. We don't know really when the children went missing. We don't know if anybody at that party saw those children on that Thursday. We don't know. And the thing is, we're not going to know, and I understand that. But I just think, hey, Marco R, nice to see you. Hi there. Um, and user 16683907661, nice to see you too. So, and it's just, there's just little parts that just kind of don't make sense. Now, if some accident happened, what would you do? I would call 911, and even though the accident could have been my fault because of, rugs or whatever that was laying around from the party that they had, you have to be careful what you say because you don't want your lives or whatever to be kicked off of TikTok, just like they kick you off of, YouTube. So, I mean, I would report the accident no matter what, because even if you are responsible because of something you did, and they got a hold of it and hurt themselves, that's that's an accident. You didn't mean for it to happen, and you will pay the price. But if something happened to these children, and you're reporting it as they walked away, or somebody abducted them, is what happened to them, and that's not the truth, is even worse. Look what it does to the other family members that love them. I'm just, I'm kind of tired of seeing these things happen because we see it happen more and more and more. And here's the thing. I think what I understand in Canada is when they say a child is missing or abducted or whatever in Canada, what I believe happens is they automatically decide it's a crime scene, whereas in America they don't, and they should, because anytime you have a young, okay, here's another thing. I read a study the other day on my YouTube channel that said children age 1 to 6 running away is zero. There's 0% that a child from 1 year old to 6 year old is going to run away. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to. It's just not, they don't know to do something like that, right? Okay, so they're not going to do it. But I think that after all the things we've seen, I think here in the United States, they need to assume every missing child that is under the age of 18 years old, who cannot make, when you're 18, you can make decisions for yourself. Under the child of 18 years old needs to be treated as a crime scene first. And if it's not a crime scene and they did just actually walk away, okay, fine. But you have at least investigated whether it was a crime scene or not. Because valuable time and valuable evidence is lost when you don't address it as a crime scene first. We've seen this over and over. There is no reason for all these cold cases, especially in the state of Tennessee. That bothers it makes no sense. It just makes no sense at all. There's all this information that's floating around all over the internet and accusing this person, that person, and then these lawsuits being pulled into it and all this ridiculous stuff. None of that helps find the missing child. None of it. I think these parents all need to learn how to work together for the greater good of the child instead of being selfish and worrying about their self and their image. A perfect example, look at Letitia's Stouch. Look what she did. She took Hannah's life, right? But her whole concern the whole time until they got her arrested for what she did was her image, how she looked. Well, you're making me look like this, or you're making it out like I'm. She's all concerned about herself and only herself. She didn't care about Al. She didn't care about the other little girl. She cared about nobody but herself. She abused Harley in the situation, and God love Harley so. I'm so proud of her. She got out of that situation. She went and made something of herself, and I'm proud of her for that. She deserved a great life. She deserved better than what she received from her mother. That's her own mother. There's countless numbers of them. We could go back to look, Alex Murdaugh. Look at his son. Look at the other guy, Chris Watts. Look at his children, his wife. Look at Peterson. Look at that. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that I'm going to rant about for just a second, and I get a lot of flack about it because people don't agree with me. And that's okay. You don't have to. It's okay to agree or disagree, respectfully. I don't expect everybody to believe like I do, and that's okay too. But the Melendez brothers, okay, I am not happy that they got resentenced and they're eligible for parole. No matter what no matter what your parents did, that does not give you the right to pull the trigger. They went outside and reloaded and came back in and finished their parents off. Their parents had no idea what was happening to them until it happens, right? They are no better than Gypsy Rose Blanchard, right? She, again, look what she did. She used a person who was low in mind, low in IQ. And she talked him into killing, for unaliving a person for her. And then she goes in there and she plans all this stuff that's not true. And so she gets 8.5 years. And now she's out here making all kinds of money because all these people are supporting her. And the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out that she never had all those surgeries, and her mother did not have Munchausen by proxy. In fact, you know who I think has Munchausen? Little Miss Gypsy Rose. Yes, I think she does. But anyway, that's enough about that. It's just that there's so much of this stuff that goes on, and when you go back and you resentence these people, you have just undermined the legal system. A jury of their peers sentenced them according to the rules at the time that they were eligible for, and they got life with no parole. Then it should be life with no parole because they were absolutely guilty. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about some of this for a minute and just kind of just put my thought out there, and I don't know how you feel. I hope that some of you agree with me. If you don't, it's okay. Another thing that I'm going to talk about. Let me say hello to a few people. Nasty. Okay, we have Mrs. Jane 22. Hello, someone. Clauderia. cute. Porsche. Oh, I love that name. You know, I have the poor man's Porsche. You're going, what's that? It's called the Toyota GR86 because it has a boxer engine in it. Anyway, I always laugh about that. But I want to say hello to you guys for just a minute. Um, you know, another thing that let me talk about this for a second too. You know, when you look at some of these situations, you realize that some of these situations are really generational. It's just generational. Part of it is generational. You have generational poverty, you have generational child abuse, you know, that kind of thing. And it's true. And it happens everywhere, not just here. The thing is, I think a lot of this has been happening for many, many years. But before the internet, we had no way of knowing it. But now that it's out there in the real world, because of the internet, we see it every day. There's a new case of it, a new case of it, a new case of it. It's really heartbreaking. It is. I don't, you know, I don't know how a person could harm their own child and then get up the next morning like nothing happened. How does this happen? I don't understand it. How could they stand there and lie? Look at Chris Watts for days and days. Look at Letitia Stouch for days and days. Look at Adam Montgomery for God's sake. Look at that situation. Nobody knows where that baby is still. Nobody knows. He will never tell us where that baby is. And it hurts my heart terribly. Because that baby deserves a final resting place. She does. And if I could, if we could find her, locate her, I would gladly donate money to help her get a final resting place. You know, whether her family needed it or not, I would donate to it because I just cannot believe what that baby went through with that man. How in the world are you beating on a child because she defecated or urinated in a car when you're living in a damn car and you did not take her to a bathroom? How hard is it to get out of the car and take the child into a restaurant or whatever to the bathroom? But no, you're too busy over there doing dope with your damn girlfriend or whatever she is to you, the mama of your baby, your other babies. That's what happened there. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, look, and I want to tell you something else. I want y'all to remember back at these people's eyes. Look at Letitia Stouch. Look at Adam Montgomery. Look at Chris Watts. What's the one thing they all have in common? Mm-hmm. Beady little black shark eyes. That's right. They're shark eyes, black shark eyes. That's what they all have in common. So when you see a person like that, you know, you, you just know. You're going, uh-oh. Mm-mm. I mean, that's not normal, right? That's not normal. And the thing, okay, there's another thing. I don't know if y'all watched any of my, yeah, I'm on it today. I'm just on it. Okay. I don't know if you watched any of these, my show at all on YouTube, but another thing that I talk about a lot is determining, or not determining, but when you have psychopaths or sociopaths in your life and how it affects you and your future, and when you realize that that's what they are and what they've done to you, and the fact and you know it, you don't know it at first. It's just you don't realize it. And but the thing is, those people, oh boy, think back about these other people now: Letitia Stouch, Adam Montgomery, Chris Watts, Stephen Stearns. Think about those people. What do they all have in common also? Hmm. Antisocial behaviors. So they are either a psychopath or a sociopath. But not every sociopath or psychopath unlikes people either, right? I know. But anyway, you know, you should go watch part of those. I mean, another thing I like to do is I like to get people to come on my live and talk about it, tell their story. Because the one thing I know about people, and I don't know much, and I don't claim to know much. I'm not a doctor, you know, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a none of that. I'm just a person. And when I feel better when I'm able to talk to somebody about what's bothering me. So if somebody wants to come on my channel and talk about what happened to them when they were in this relationship with this person, it doesn't have to be your spouse. It could have been, you know, just a friend or somebody you thought was your friend but really wasn't your friend. Anything, any person like that. If you want to come on my show, just let me know. My email address is right there on my YouTube channel. It's for Little Red O. It's really Little Red Zero, but everybody says Little Red O. But anyway, I mean, you know, come on over. We'd love to have you. I will tell you that one of my lives I did like that had 30,000 views. People want to hear other people's stories because they can compare it to what happened in their life and how these people dealt with it, and maybe it'll help them deal with their situation. So think about that if you want to. That's fine. Um, anyway, this is just gonna be a little short talk, you guys. I was just so upset today by the Jack and Lily situation. I just am. I mean, I don't know. The poor little Sebastian Rogers case. His case is a damn train wreck. It's a train wreck now. It's ridiculous all the things that went on in this case for a missing child. You know, please don't let that happen in this other case. That should never happen in any case. It should have never happened in any case at all. It's it's like it's like that poor baby is lost twice because he's lost out in the world and he's lost in his own missing child case, and that bothers me. It bothers me a lot. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning is look and see, did they find Sebastian? Do they have any leads for Sebastian? Did somebody give a good tip for Sebastian? Because I want that baby found. It just hurts my heart so bad. But anyway, well, I guess I've talked long enough for today. I'll come back and do another live another day, but it's getting to be like in the afternoon, and I just have a couple of things I have to do. And it's super hot out here today, so I've got to go shut. It's going to be 104 in Texas today. I got to go shut my gates so my little baby dogs should go outside. I don't know. Has any of y'all seen my little baby dogs, Jack, Jack, and Trixie? Jack is the little French bulldog, and he's a platinum French bulldog. It's his color, whatever that is. But anyway, when I put him on TikTok, I would say, "Oh no, it's that Frenchie Jack again." And so he's got a lot of different little videos where he's the star, you know, and he's just so cute. I love him. But anyway, y'all go check those out too if you want to. Just let me know if you check them out. And come on over to my YouTube. I also put stuff out on X when I can, and I also have stuff on Rumble. Not much, but I just started kind of doing Rumble because I didn't really realize that Rumble could be so fun because it doesn't have all the same rules as some of these other uh, sites do. You just have to be so careful so that you don't get strikes and those kind of things on these platforms because nobody wants that to happen to them, but they just want to talk about what they want to talk about. But anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Please come by again. And if there's some kind of a like button or something that you do over here on TikTok, because I don't really know, please leave it. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. If you don't like the show, let me know. If you do like the show, let me know. And if you could care less either way, that's okay too. I'll live with that. Anyway, so bye. Bye from Little Red Zero. See y'all next time. Have a good day. Bye.